Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the press conference announcing the laureates of the Award for Promoting Philippines-China Understanding, or APPCU 2025. And here with us is the chairman of the Association for Philippines-China Understanding, Attorney Raul Lambino, Executive Director Brian Lu, Treasurer General Ding Pase. And now I'll hand over the microphone to Chairman Lambino.
Well, good morning everyone. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Tulad po ng sinabi ni Ms. Lueda, this is a press conference to announce the laureates or the awardees in the 5th Awards for the Promotion of Philippines-China Understanding, which will be held on June 3, 2025. Gusto ko lamang pong sabihin po sa inyo na hindi po to launching ng aking presidential candidacy sa 2028. Na tulad ng mga ibang mga politiko na maaga silang nag-a-announce na ng kanilang presidential ambition for 2028. Andito po ako ngayon, hindi po bilang isang politiko, pero andito po ako para po dito sa ating pinagkakabalahan for the past 10 years. Very actively involved po tayo dito sa promotion ng pagkakaunawaan ng Pilipinas at ng China. Alam naman po natin itong mga nakaraang mga taon, lalong-lalo na po nung mag-umpisa po ang 2010, nagkaroon po ng mga iba't ibang hindi magandang pagkakaunawaan ang China at ng Pilipinas. Lalong-lalo na po diyan sa usapin sa West Philippine Sea o kaya South China Sea. Pero naging mapayapa ang ating relasyon sa China nung naupo po si President Rodrigo Duterte noong 2016. At doon po nag-umpisa yung ating mas maigting at mas malakas na ugnayan ng Pilipinas at ng bansang China. At nagkaroon din po ng malakas na people-to-people exchanges, cultural exchanges, business-to-business exchanges. Kaya marami pong naging mga negosyo po rito sa ating bansa na galing po sa bansang China. At marami rin pong mga Pilipino ang nagnegosyo po sa China. Sa katunayan po, kung inyo pong susuriin yung mga investments galing sa Pilipinas patungong China o galing sa China patungong Pilipinas, mas maraming mga investments ng mga Pilipinong negosyante ang nagpunta po sa China. Hindi po totoo yung mga binabanggit ng iba na malaki na po yung naging investments ng China dito sa Pilipinas. Uulitin ko po, maraming mga Filipino investors ang nagpuntahan po sa China. Kaya yan po ang dapat pong malaman ng ating mga kababayan. Mga kumpanya po tulad po ng SM, Shumart, tulad po ng Mega World, tulad po ng Robinsons, tulad po ng Lusiutan Group of Companies, at iba pa pong mga kumpanya, Liwayway Group of Companies. Marami po silang mga investments po doon po sa China. Yan po ay sa service sector, sa manufacturing sector, sa food business, sa retail trade, etc. Real estate. Ang dami pong mga negosyo po ng mga Pilipino po doon sa China. Ang Chinese naman, marami rin po silang mga dinalang mga foreign investments po dito sa ating bansa. Lalong-lalo na po nung panahon po ni PRRD, maraming mga negosyo rin pong naitayo po rito, real estate, business, etc. Pero nitong mga nakaraang taon, 2 taong nakalipas, medyo nanlamig na naman yung relasyon ng Pilipinas at ng China. I'm talking of official and government-to-government relations. Kung anong sitwasyon natin noong 2010 to 2016, ay biglang naging ganon ang sitwasyon na naman ng Pilipinas at China magmula po noong first quarter of 2023. At nagpapatuloy po yung ganong klaseng relasyon natin sa China. Kami naman po sa Association for Philippines-China Understanding, which is an organization that was founded more than 52 years ago, ito pong Association for Philippines-China Understanding ang siyang nag-umpisa ng friendship between the two peoples of the Philippines and China. Ito rin po yung organization na naging tulay para magkaroon ng official diplomatic relations ang Pilipinas at ang China. Kaya po, nare-recognize po ng ating bansa itong effort ng APCO at nare-recognize din po ng China itong effort ng APCO. Kaya meron po kaming malakas na ugnayan, people-to-people exchange program between APCO at saka yung counterpart naming organisasyon po sa China, yung pong China People's Association for Friendship with Foreign Countries. Open na open po yan, yung relasyon na yan. And in fact, meron tayong ASEAN-China Friendship Association at ang Pilipinas through APCO, kami po ay active member nitong ASEAN-China Friendship Association. At itong taon na ito, the Philippines will host the ASEAN-China Friendship Association International Conference that will be held here in Manila nitong November this year. Tayo po ang host without any government funds or government support or subsidy. Our association, APCO, will try its best to host this big international conference that will be held here in Manila among the 10 ASEAN countries plus China. So iyan po yung mga major activities na ginagawa po namin. Every 2 years po kasi nagkakaroon ng international conference ang ASEAN at ang China. And last year, or 2 years ago, the conference was held in Penang in Malaysia. I was there as the principal delegate of APCO. Kasama kita doon, Brian, no? Brian Lu was with me in Penang, in Malaysia during that conference. And supposed to be, itong taon na ito, ang host sana ay Myanmar. Pero dahil nagkakaroon po ng kaguluhan sa Myanmar, there's an ongoing civil war in Myanmar, hindi ma-assure ng Myanmar government at yung Myanmar Friendship Association yung security ng mga delegates na pupunta sa Myanmar. So pinakiusapan po tayo ng Myanmar, ang Pilipinas, if we can take over the holding of the next ASEAN-China Friendship Association's International Conference. So ako, tinanggap ko po yon na challenge. It is a big obligation that we are going to face. At yun nga, na italaga po na tayo ang mag-host by November here in Manila. But on top of all this people-to-people exchange and promotion of friendship and unity among our neighbor countries, ang APCO in particular has several programs. Very recently, nagpadala po tayo ng 30 young Filipino leaders who visited Fujian province at the expense of APCO. At tuwang-tuwa naman itong mga Pilipino na pinadala po natin, mga kabataan, at first time nilang makita ang China. Nakita nila na taliwas doon sa mga napapabalita at nababasa po nila sa social media, sa mainstream media, napapanood nila sa mainstream media o sa mga social media networks na ibang-iba pala yung China. And we are happy that they are learning, getting the real information about China. At yung mga counterpart naman nilang mga Chinese students that they met during their visit last month lang man po ito, nung magpunta po itong mga Filipino students and leaders diyan sa Fujian province, we are inviting them naman to come here by November so that these Chinese young students would also understand, have a wider perspective at understanding kung ano naman ang Pilipinas. Kasi tulad din po ng karamihang mga Pilipino, hindi po nila naiintindihan at hindi po nila nalalaman kung ano talaga ang nangyayari sa China. In the same breath, doon sa China, yung mga kabataan po doon sa China, hindi rin po nila naiintindihan yung nangyayari dito sa atin sa Pilipinas.
And we would want to create a much friendlier environment among our young people. Because there is no substitute for unity, understanding, and friendship. Hindi pwedeng itong maliit na mga problema patungkol po dyan sa relasyon natin sa China will prevail over the wider and more important scope of relationship between our governments and our peoples. So, iyan po yung ating ginagawa sa APCO. So, may I invite President Noy Benedicto, he's the president of APCO, to join us here. So, yan po yung mga ginagawa ng APCO. Other than this, continuing people-to-people exchanges, no? In previous years, we have hosted some Chinese cultural groups who have come to the Philippines and promote their arts and culture here. Nagpunta pa rito yung mga movie producers from other provinces in China, and they have shown some of the movies here in the Philippine theaters free for the past, for about 2 weeks. Ganon din yung mga Chinese artists. Nagpunta sila rito, tinulungan natin silang ma-promote yung kanilang artworks. Ganon din ang APCO, yung mga Filipino artists natin. We try to sponsor some Filipino artists in order to enrich their knowledge about Chinese arts and culture. Pinapadala po natin din sila sa China at nang maintindihan po nila yan. Now, in other projects ng APCO, itong teaching of Mandarin language, kaya po meron kaming very strong relations with the different colleges and universities in China, inviting Chinese English-speaking teachers to come to Manila and expand the teaching of Mandarin language in different schools, whether state universities yan or private colleges and universities. So, we have helped establish Confucius Institute in the University of the Philippines, in the Ateneo de Manila University, in Angeles University Foundation, Holy Angel University, Bulacan State University, and other colleges and universities in the country. Kanya lamang, sabi rin ng aming mga counterpart institutions in China, magastos din yun kasi shoulder nila lahat yun. Wala naman tayong binabayaran. They only come here to help us learn more about Mandarin language. At magugulat po kayo, yung mga Pilipinong nakakapag-aral sa Confucius Institute, they have become very, very proficient in Mandarin language. And that is the most important factor para mas maintindihan natin about China. Tayo, mahal na mahal natin yung Amerika kasi nga nakakapagsalita tayo ng English kahit papaano, naiintindihan nila tayo, naiintindihan natin sila. Despite the fact that sinakop nila tayo for 48 years. They have somehow, colonized us, but they have educated us and we learned their language. And that barrier now serve as the bridge of strong relations between the United States and America. Well, ganun din pa dapat ang ginagawa natin. Why? Because there are more than what? 3 million Chinese Filipinos here in the country, or maybe 5 million. At sila ay nakakapagsalita ng different Chinese languages, more particularly Mandarin, or Hokkien, or Cantonese. Pero karamihan po sa atin mga pure-blooded Filipino natives, hindi natin naiintindihan o nakakapagsalita man lang ng konti ng Mandarin. So we hope that we can slowly bridge this wide gap between Filipinos and Chinese insofar as this language barrier is concerned. Bakit ito importante sa atin? Kasi nakita natin yung bagong development in the economy, global economy. Number 2 na ang China among the most powerful economic countries in the world. After the United States, China na yung susunod. Pangatlo na lang yata ang Japan or Germany. And importante that we have to have a stronger tie with China. Hindi ko sinasabi na kailangan nating makipag-away sa Amerika or Japan para lang mapalapit tayo sa China. No, we don't need to even entertain such a thought. Ang gusto natin sa APCO, lahat ay kaibiganin natin ang mga bansa sa buong mundo, more particularly those countries that are in the Asian region. Japan, Korea, China, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam. These are very, very powerful nations now in the Asian region. And yon ang isa sa objective namin sa APCO in our private capacity. Now, with regards to what we are here today, is more of the awards. The awards for promoting Philippines-China understanding. Ito'y pang-5 taon na po namin ginagawa ito. We started this 5 years ago. Yung mga previous awardees po dito, pag Hall of Famer was former First Lady Imelda Marcos, ang number 1 awardee 5 years ago. And then we have with her former Ambassador Francis Chua. And then the following year, we had former President Joseph Estrada and former Ambassador Benedicto. And then the third year, we had former President Duterte and Mr. Carlos Chan of Liwayway Group. And then last year, we had Mr. Larry Villarreal and Professor Gabi Lopez of the University of the Philippines as our Hall of Famer Awards, plus other major awardees, major contribution awardees and outstanding contribution awardees. Sa taong pong ito ngayon, we are going to award only one Hall of Famer. And that would be given to former Senator Ana Dominic Coseteng. Siya lamang po ang nag-iisang winner ngayon ng Hall of Fame. And then we have 2 winners for major contribution or outstanding contribution. We have Mr. Dominic Edgar A. Cabangon and Philippines Special Envoy to China, Mr. Maynard Ngo. Sila yung 2 awardees ngayon. And then we have 4 awardees for the major contribution category. We have Madam Josefa Tanya Go Belmonte. Si Mayor Joy Belmonte po ng Quezon City would be one of our major contribution awardee. And then we have also Mr. Nang Shuseng, the president of Asahi High Quality Electronic Products or Food Manufacturing. And then we have Mr. Joaquin C., an educator, writer, and translator. Then we have Mr. Chudurico Dufeles, executive assistant of the city mayor of Digos in the Davao del Norte, if I'm not mistaken. Digos is in Davao del Sur, di ba? Del Sur, yeah. Siya si Mr. Chudurico Dufeles. And then for this year, for the first time, we have created the Amity Award. Itong Amity Award category has been added. This is the first time that we are going to give Amity Award to 5 individuals who have made efforts in promoting goodwill at the grassroots level. And the awardees are Marian Lourdes Leonor, a known teacher or Teacher Mary, Filipino English teacher working in China. And then Mr. Nelson Santiago, a police staff sergeant of the Philippine National Police who died in the rescue operation of Chinese citizen. In posthumous award, we are going to award these to Mr. Santiago. And then we have Ms. Eden Batangoy Akad, a police chief master sergeant and a dedicated officer of the Philippine National Police who was injured in the rescue of Chinese citizens. Dr. Shirley Agrupo is a commissioner of the Commission on Higher Education and former president of Mariano Marcos State University. And Mr. Justin Clarence Lau Tembresa, a TikTok content creator who produces short videos to promote the Minnan dialect. So ito po yung mga awardees po natin sa 5th APPCU Awards to be staged on June 3 at the Fiesta Pavilion of the Manila Hotel. So yun lamang po, and kung meron po kayong mga gustong itanong, pwede po ninyong itanong, uulitin ko po, nandito po ako ngayon, hindi isang politiko. Hindi ito launching ng aking presidential bid for 2028. Ito po ay tungkol po sa awards for promotion of Philippines-China understanding. Maraming salamat po.
All right, I think we can accept a few questions po. If any one of you would like to ask some questions.
President Noy, maybe you would want to add more?
Nasabi na lahat ni Chairman eh. Pero wag niyong kalimutan sa June 3 sa Fiesta Pavilion, Manila Hotel ang awards night na gagawin for APPCU. Awards for promoting Philippine-China understanding. Sana dumami po ang mga nakakaintindi kung ano nangyayari sa ating we really need to promote this Philippine-China understanding, and as yung sinabi dati ng ating presidente si PBBM nung unang guest nung siya ay na president na elect, sabi niya, friends to all nation and enemies on none. Okay. Salamat po.
Yeah. In addition nga pala, medyo nakaligtaan ko. Well, nabanggit na rin ni President to in passing. In previous APPCU award ceremonies, naging guest of honor speaker natin si President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. twice. The first one was in Dusit Hotel, and the next one was also in Manila Hotel. That was 2 years ago. This year, our guest of honor and speaker would be Senator Christopher Bongo. Siya po yung ating guest of honor and speaker for this 5th APPCU. Any question? Meron bang gustong magtanong? Parang ayaw nyo yata ng usapan na hindi politika, ano? Yeah. Pasa na lang sa microphone.
Sir Fabian from UNTV, sir. Sir, may epekto ba ito dun sa ginagawa ngayon na third civilian caravan sa West Philippine Sea?
Wala, kasi ang APPCU naman, it's not really government or political. No? This is more of a people-to-people cultural exchange program which we have been doing for the past more than 50 years. So wala kaming pakialam po dyan sa nangyayari na issue tungkol po dyan sa hidwaan ng Pilipinas sa West Philippine Sea or even trade relations for that matter. Pagdating po sa mga usapin po patungkol po sa official relations ng Philippines and China, we leave that or those to the Department of Foreign Affairs at mga government agencies po natin. So they have the expertise. We have very, very qualified and knowledgeable people sa Department of Foreign Affairs, especially now with the appointment of Secretary Tess Lazaro, who is very active in the bicameral dialogue that have been going on between Philippines and China, because she is the head of the Philippine contingent, as far as what I know of, pagdating po doon sa availment of the BCM, yung bilateral consultative mechanism, which is found in the joint communique between the Philippines and China to discuss whatever dispute that may arise between China and the Philippines. So, si Secretary Tess Lazaro has always been the head of the Philippine panel. So alam niyang gagawin niya yan. So ako personally, I'm very happy na ang na-appoint po dyan sa DFA is Secretary Tess Lazaro. So wala po kaming pakialam ang APCO doon sa kung ano man pong mga action na ginagawa ng mga other organizations, other agencies of government. Na basta ang sa amin po sa APCO, we are just focused in helping bridge the divide between Filipino people and Chinese people.
I think the mic is not working. You can come here na lang po.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, Karen po sa Reuters. Sir, could you walk us through how are the awardees chosen? Are they nominated? And then who makes a decision? Who goes? Who gets the award? And then is there a committee, sir, that's involved? And the main criteria for judging, if that's how you call it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, we form a committee in APCO to accept these nominations, and there are a lot of nominees. Every year we receive a lot of nominees for each category. Sometimes nominees are even nominated to two categories, outstanding contributions, major contributions. And then this committee in APCO will make their recommendations based on all the documents, all the investigations that are being conducted. It's somehow a tedious process, no? And then once the committee of APCO has submitted their short list, then it will pass through the trustees of the committee. Now, insofar, however, as the Hall of Fame awardee, we also have to consult the Chinese embassy. Kasi we have to find out and validate whether or not these people, or more particularly the Hall of Fame awardee, what had they done thus far that China would agree na nagkaroon ng magandang contribution. So finally, the judging of this would be ako, ang chair, President Noy, and then we consult the Chinese embassy. Kasi ayaw din naming mapahiya na bibigyan namin ng award sa Hall of Fame somebody na baka sabihin ng Chinese embassy, paano naging Hall of Fame yan samantalang ang kanyang naging position was so anti-China. Ayaw din namin yun kasi we have also, as I said, a counterpart organization in China that we work very closely, just as like our counterpart organizations in the ASEAN countries. So primarily, itong committee namin sa APCO, sino bang head natin ngayon ng subcommittee? Sinoy, ang chair ng subcommittee ng APCO hanggang maiakyat po sa level ko yung mga nominees. Shortlist po nila yan and then from there, final judging yung sino ang magiging awardee ng major contributions, outstanding contributions, and sinabi ko na yung Hall of Fame, we consult the Chinese embassy kung sino magiging Hall of Fame. Yes. Well, they can make some observations, objections, and then APCO will consider itong mga observations. Just as like the other nominees, merong mga iba dyan na very active sila sa ngayon, the past 2 years. Pero sabi ko, what had they done prior to 2 years ago to promote Philippines-China understanding? So, may mga very active na ngayon pero wala akong nakitang ginawa nila for the past 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So, yun, yung mga things like that are being considered. They must be Filipino citizens, number one. Wala, hindi pwedeng maging awardee ka kung hindi ka Filipino citizen. Number one, you must be a Filipino citizen. That you are a resident of the Philippines as well. That you are, it's not important whether you have traveled to China or you have been to China, no. Then what would be the kind of contribution that you have undertaken? Is it going to be just academic or nagkaroon ka ba ng mga other programs like if you are a leader of a conglomerate or a corporation, what has your corporation done in so far as promoting Philippines-China understanding? So we evaluate all this based on the information that we get. Once we receive some nominees, for example, there was this recently a company that was nominated to become a Hall of Famer awardee. But it is a company, it is not a person. So it's the first time that, I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but it's a very, very well-known company that in our investigation, malaki rin ang kanyang naitulong sa mga Pilipino. And this company, it's owned by a Filipino-Chinese. Ang dami niyang naibigay na contribution. For so many years, maybe 30 years or more, talagang andyan yung company na yan. But since the nominee is not a natural person, but it is a juridical person, our rules right now is very specific that the awardee should be a natural person. So, hindi siya nag-qualify doon sa ating criteria, one of the criteria na ating pinapatupad. Yes. Well, wala. They have no obligation whatsoever. We do not even require them to continue what they have been doing. So this is a recognition of their previous contribution in promoting Philippine-China understanding. And as a token, we have also little monetary award na kasama po dito. Kami sa APCO ang magbibigay ng monetary. Wala silang gagastusin kahit na isang sintimo or what. We are going to shoulder everything. And on top of that, we are going to give them a token cash reward. No? At nung previous years, yung Hall of Fame awardee, hindi namin binibigyan. Like former First Lady Imelda Marcos, bakit ba nabibigyan? Tapos ganun din si former President Estrada and former President Duterte. But last year, we started giving also some token cash reward sa aming Hall of Famer. So we are going to continue to give that little monetary award on top of the recognition with the trophies and certificates. We are going to give monetary award to our awardees. Yeah.
Good morning, Darlene po from GMA. What are you seeing in the short-term future when it comes to yung relations po ng Philippines and China? As we know, patuloy pa rin po yung tension sa West Philippine Sea and yung mga ibang issues katulad ng reported na mga nahuhuli, allegedly na intel ng China na nandito sa Pilipinas. So ano po yung nakikita nyo, at least for the next 3 years siguro?
Yeah. Well, as I said, more than 50 years ago, APCO was formed precisely to help establish a good relations with China and Chinese people. Initially, before, imagine that wala kang diplomatic relations at saka panahon ng martial law, kasagsagan ng labanan ng communism and other ideology. And the American bases were here very actively, and then we had the war in Vietnam, etc. But despite all those big challenges that we had faced, ay ando doon pa rin yung APCO. And it was APCO that helped pave the way for the official establishment of diplomatic relations. You can just imagine the enormity of the challenges that APCO faced for the past 50 years, more than 50 years, compared to the challenges that the Philippines and the Filipino people are now facing vis-a-vis our relations with China. So APCO can help at least understand China better, for more Filipinos to understand China better, and China, or the Chinese people, to understand the Philippines also much better. Doon sa aking interaction with the Chinese leaders and the Chinese people in many of my travels in China, no? Sa kanila, hindi nila i-give up yung kanilang claim. They will never give up their claim insofar as these maritime areas in the South China Sea is concerned, no? In like manner that we should not give up our claim dito sa maritime zones na ito because we have also our very strong legal and historical basis. Legally speaking, we have the UNCLOS, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, and then recently we had this arbitral award that was decided by the International Tribunal. So, we have our legal basis. Doon sa China, meron din silang pinanghahawakan na historical basis nila. So, these are two conflicting claims of two sovereign states. And talagang gagawin ng China because, you know, in international law or international relations, whoever has the capacity to enforce its rights, no, would always have the edge of getting what they want. Yan ang problema natin. Dahil hindi natin kakayanin yung persa ng China. Pero there is this diplomatic door or diplomatic road that we can take. And it's good that kung ang ating mga pinuno sa government would understand to make use of diplomatic mechanism in solving our problems, magkakaroon ng breakthrough. For example, pinag-uusapan natin dito na matindi yung karapatan ng ating mga mangingisda when they used to have free access to these contested waters, being traditional fishing grounds of the Filipinos and even the Vietnamese, the Taiwanese, and even the Chinese. No, why don't we go back to that kind of situation na pwede namang mangisda lahat itong mga ito while the issue of who has the better legal right over these areas is not yet resolved. Pero ang nangyayari kasi ngayon, pag pinapasukan itong problema ng ibang bansa na wala naman silang direct interest except geopolitics lang, except they're trying to secure their own interests at the expense of the directly affected countries like us in the Asia-Pacific region, doon tayo nagkakaroon ng malaking problema. And that is what I think would break the friendly solution of the issue pag may nakialam ng mga ibang bansa na wala naman po silang direct interest kung hindi geopolitics lang. Iyon ang aking nakikitang problema dito.
Sir, with the way things are going now, in the next 3 years, optimistic po ba kayo? Or do you think, kasi sabi nyo kanina nanlamig na yung relations, yung understanding, are you optimistic na magiging maayos or mas lalala siya in the next 3 years?
Personally, okay, it's a sigh of relief sa akin kasi without me directly being asked or what, I'm just a mere observer of our foreign relations policy. The appointment of Secretary Tess Lazaro to be the top honcho of the executive department. Well, the president is the chief architect of our foreign policy. And with a Tess Lazaro, who would be the bosom friend of the president in the determination of policy direction, I am quite optimistic that there will be a much better relations between the Philippines and China. Kasi I know her, how good she is, and being in the so-called, hindi siya politiko eh. She is a product of talaga from the diplomatic community at mataas ang respeto sa kanya ng kanyang mga counterpart in other countries. So I think maybe let's give her a chance to prove her worth.
Any other questions pa po?
Wala na? So, if there is no more question, I think pwede na tayong mag-early lunch. Okay? So let's have early lunch and then whatever other questions you would want to ask later na hindi natin na-discuss dito sa panel, then you can always ask me and then I'll try my best to answer your queries. Thank you and good day.
Thank you, everyone.
Pati yung mga ginawa natin, mga Diana with the students.